Hey everybody, it's Mr. Movies87 here, and welcome to Let's Play 101. Now, the title may or may not sound familiar to a few of you guys, because if you may recall, a couple years back, I actually did a video very similar to this on my old channel. But the idea came to me, well, again, last night actually. I was running a few ideas in my head about, just general tips and whatnot, and I figured, hey, it's been a while. And I feel like I could offer some better advice as opposed to back then, and also to just do a better job of making myself more coherent in general anyway, and also, I wanted to. So, here we are. So for this video, I'll be going over a few bullet points that I have marked down here. I have just a little notepad document on the side, just to highlight some bullet points that I feel are important for Let's Playing as a whole. Now, before anything else, we should probably go into what Let's Playing really is. Let's Playing, what it boils down to is essentially a person doing commentary on a video game, and, well, playing through from start to finish. A basic video game walkthrough is just, you're playing through the game, sans commentary. Pretty basic stuff there, right? But there's tons of different people out there, and you're going to find there's tons of different styles to go about it there. Some people like to go super over the top. They'll even, make some fake personality just for their channel, or they'll play a certain style of game, or what have you. Tons of ways to go about that. So this actually kind of leads into my first point here, which I feel is very, very important about Let's Play, and that is be yourself. In my opinion, now I'll probably be saying that a lot, just so you guys know, there are some things in the Let's Play community I don't like or agree with, or blah blah blah. That's not all about that. You're your own person, you can do things your own way. That's just throwing that out there. But I feel as though, to make things as natural as possible, and to also be more comfortable with Let's Playing if you're new to it, is just to be yourself. I feel as though making videos and uploading them with commentary is a great way to let people learn more about the real you. So I feel as though putting on a fake persona, fake identity or whatever for YouTube isn't the way to go. Now, again, some people do that. That's them. That's totally cool with me. That's just my opinion. I don't feel like you need to do that. It just feels better overall to just be yourself there. If you're just really outgoing and all that, that'll show in your video. If you're quiet, shy, whatever, that'll show in your video. If you're a total nutcase, which is always cool, by the way, I'm not judging, that'll show in your video. I just feel that it's important to let people know who you really are. The videos will just feel better as a whole, and they'll just come out better as a whole anyway. Moving on to my next point here, which is probably the second most important thing, really. Practice, practice, and more practice. Now, what I mean by that is, boils down really into two different sets of practice. A, being practicing the gameplay for a recording, and B, practicing the commentary for the recording. Now, by the first point there, essentially what I mean by that is, before you get to recording, say if you want to record for 15 to 20 minutes or so, right? We'll just go with that. Pretty much play through the game on your own time, so you know what to do, who to talk to, where to go, what items are around you, if you're playing an RPG, or any game for that matter, really. If you're fighting a boss, the best strategy for it, what attacks to use, what not to use, things like that. So that way you're more prepared when you get to the actual video itself there, so you know better what to do, so you can and then in turn deliver better commentary, which makes a better overall video. Now, as far as going for the commentary practice goes, pretty much just talk to yourself really while you're doing it. If you're doing the practice your gameplay thing, just even take notes or just mumble to yourself okay, this guy is weak to this element, or I should steal this from him, or hey, I can go talk to that person to do this thing, so on and so forth there. Pretty much practice what you want to say before you say it, or even if you want to go fully scripted, you can. You guys know how I roll. I just pull stuff out of my butt and just roll with it. So, but I mean, there are times, I really should do this more. I just take my own advice here and practice more beforehand. Commentary for me is a little trickier, though, as I kind of stutter sometimes. That's just how I am. I can't really change that, really, but never mind that. But more so for the gameplay aspect goes for practicing. If you're playing an action RPG or a side-scroller or whatever, You want to know like what's coming ahead of time. You can be better prepared for that. Like if you're playing some like a Mario game or whatever, right? You want to try to practice those levels you're playing beforehand, so if you're rusty or whatever, you won't be dying at the same spot over and over and over again. And while deaths are all fun and good and all that, it can be funny and all that at times. After a little while, if you're dying at the same spot over and over again, chances are you're gonna have a lot less fun than you normally would. So henceforth, practice beforehand, so you're more comfortable with the game and everything. And yet again, for RPGs, there's so much stuff to do in an RPG for any of them really. So in just 15 to 20 minutes, there can be still a lot of stuff to do. So yeah, you want to just like make sure you talk to everybody, like know where certain people are. For boss fights, know what to do, stuff like that. For number three, if you're just starting out with Let's Playing and you're not really sure what game you want to do, first off, you want to figure out. This will kind of tie to this point as well. You also want to figure out what you want your channel to really be about, what you want to focus on. Like, do you want to just do older retro games? Do you want to do all console stuff? Do you want to, only focus on one genre of games? Do you want to do a whole variety of games? Like, that's totally up to you. But pretty much, yeah, find your thing which you feel comfortable with and roll with it. That also goes as far as to what game to play as well. For your first game you want to LP, you want to make sure you pick a game that you're comfortable with. That should pretty much be a no-brainer, really. In my opinion, doing a blind LP as a first LP, probably not the way to go. Although I'm sure there are channels out there that do nothing but blind LPs. I'm sure there are some out there. I don't know of them, but I gotta figure there are. But I mean, by and large, you want to just pick a game that you're comfortable with, that you know a lot better, so it just makes you more comfortable in general, in a way that you're able to deliver good commentary for it, good insightful knowledge of the game, and stuff like that. But yeah, again, that should be a no-brainer, really, but I still feel it bears mentioning all the same. Now, number four, this is where things can get a little, I don't want to say sketchy, but kind of sketchy iffy, and I have a title here, Reaching Out. Now, if you're making a new channel, nowadays, I'll just be blunt, it's hard to get yourself out there if you really want to become well known without, like, taking the extra mile and then some to making yourself known. But there's certain ways to go about doing that. I mean, social media is a huge thing nowadays. It has been for a while, but it gets bigger and bigger every day, really. So that's a great way to get yourself out there, to get your videos more well known. Facebook, Twitter, whatever other apps are out there, but those are two of the big ones, really, there. Also, YouTube itself is social media as well. But yeah, you want to try to come to know people that do the same thing you do. That's what I've been trying to do. I've met tons of people through Let's Play, and it's kind of just happened. Pretty much just by supporting other Let's Players, really. Liking their videos, actually commenting on them, messaging them. Just don't be like, if you're trying to pick up advice from other Let's Players, don't like spam their inbox or whatever with messages all the time there. Just like send them one, introduce yourself, let them know like, hey, I'm new, I'm looking for some advice, I thought you'd be able to help me out, and then just ask any questions that you feel you need to ask them. And most people, yeah, they'll see that, they'll be like, hey, wow, thanks for messaging me, that's really cool of you to do that, I appreciate the thought, like, here's some advice I have for you, and then there you go. And then you can, yeah, you want to just message back and forth, be friends with people, by all means. And something else, you really don't want to like ask and beg people for shoutouts there. That's kind of pushing it a little bit there. Now, there are some videos out there that are solely for that purpose, like, hey, link your channel info here, it'll get out to more and more people, which is all well and good. But yeah, the main thing is, yeah, really just start small. If you're trying to message like Markiplier for advice or whatever, he's not going to respond more than likely. But yeah, just find other Let's Players that are like people that you know just from Twitter and stuff already, and be like, hey, I'm starting a Let's Play channel, do you want to check it out? And link it, and then they'll tune into that, hopefully, and then that'll spread to more and more people. But something to keep in mind, very important, it'll take time for your channel to grow. you're probably not going to see like huge growth right away. That's just not really how YouTube works, really. Excuse me, it's kind of hard to catch that spark because really all the gaming stuff that's been done is being done by tons and tons of people already. So it can be a little discouraging, in all honesty. If you're trying to focus on retro stuff, there's people that already do that. Newer stuff, people are already doing that. Certain genres, people are already doing that. That's just how YouTube is these days. They has millions upon millions of users there, so it can be hard to find your niche there. But what's important also is to not give up. This is kind of a pseudo bullet point here that I don't have listed, but also feels I should mention all the same there. Yeah, it'll take time for your numbers to grow, for your subscriber count, for your view count, the likes, all that good stuff there. But if you're serious about YouTube, they will grow in due time. Just put the work into it there. But what's also important to keep in mind is that the numbers aren't everything. They're nice and all. Like, seeing like you have 10,000 subscribers, that's a lot cooler and just feels a lot better to you than having say like 500 or whatever. But even still, just because you don't get 10,000 subs in one day, it should be like, screw this, I quit. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but the point should still be made all the same there. But yeah, if you're serious about YouTube and want to really make it like a full-time thing and invest the money into it, and you're really enjoying it, then the numbers will start rolling in there for you, which is all well and good. But yeah, again, you don't want to be too pushy there. Like if you spam someone's inbox repeatedly, they're gonna want to help you less, or just flat out ignore your messages altogether, which I do feel is a little rude as well. But at the same point, you gotta respect to your messaging there too for advice and all that stuff. Moving on to my next point here, this will be sort of more the tech stuff here. Now, I'm not as savvy on all this stuff here. I pretty much use the basic things that work for me, and that's pretty much it. Now, if you're serious about all this stuff here, if you want to go for like a Blue Yeti microphone or whatever, really high-end stuff there, or HD PVR or the Elgato or whatever, that's all well and good. But if you want to start small, or if your main thing is you want to just focus more so on older games there and all that, you really don't need much other than a good headset. It doesn't need to be super expensive there, and a recording program. In my case here, I have OBS, a pretty outdated version of it though. I have 0.12.2, and now they're up to like 0.17 or whatever, so yeah, I'm due for an upgrade there. But it's an entirely free software. Does what I needed to do just fine for both emulated stuff and also console LPs there. Can't go wrong with that. As far as the headset goes, I just have a Logitech USB headset. It works just fine. Granted, on my other PC, not so much, although that's more so the PC itself, I think, but never mind that. And also, of course, you need a decent PC to record off of as well. 10 years ago, when YouTube was just starting out, I mean, video quality was not the best. Pretty much, if you were able to do 480p back then, that was high quality back then. Nowadays, though, yeah, PCs, and even like the cheaper PCs, are still great for recording, even just the basic stuff there. So you really don't need to shell out a whole lot of money if you're just starting out there. Now, if you want to, like I said, invest the money for like the Elgato, the Blue Yeti, and the really high-end gaming PC, then yeah, you're looking at a couple of $1,000 there, if not more. But yeah, to make it there on YouTube, like if you really want to make it, you kind of have to go that route anyway there. So let's see. That's pretty much it for the tech stuff, really. So let's see. So as far as closing this out goes here, I mean, Let's Playing, for some people, it's a hobby. For some people, it's their full-time career. So what's important to keep in mind is that what do you want to get out of YouTube? Do you want it to be just a hobby? Do you want it to be like a full-time career? That's something that you need to decide for yourself there. But I think even more so than all the other bullet points I mentioned, is just to have fun with it. I mean, some people, what I see, they only do YouTube like just for the money. Which, I mean, that's their decision to do so. I respect that. But sometimes, in doing so, you lose sight of why you started doing it in the first place, which should be just for the fun of it, and just sharing your gaming knowledge with other people. like playing a game that you grew up loving or a new game you just discovered or whatever, and sharing it with others. That's been my mantra pretty much my entire YouTube career, and it's something I still stick with today. I try to make sure that my videos are fun. I have fun doing them. Make sure the viewers have fun, and also I make sure that I impart knowledge to them. That's pretty much what it boils down to. So that's what I feel like. That's what Let's Playing really should be, by and large. There, but I mean that's how it was in the old days. There today, more and more people are doing it just because it's a great way to make money, and it can be if you get enough views and all that stuff there. Which I mean, not everyone can really do. But yeah, with enough time, with enough effort, you will be able to reach that level. So it goes back to also the not getting discouraged thing there. Yeah, YouTube takes time, but if you're serious about it, it will pay off in the end there. So that's pretty much it for me, guys. And as always, feel free to submit any other advice you have for Let's Players as a whole, both new ones and current ones there. Excuse me. And yeah, it just helps just to reach out to people, really. I'm hoping this video did help out. Even if it helps only one person, that's fine with me. I mean, I made my videos to help people, essentially. So, is there anything else I need to go over? I don't think there is. I covered a lot today. So that should be a pretty good starting point there as a whole. Now, I might do a follow-up video to this, more so on the tech side of things there, like comparing headsets to other different ones, and other recording programs and PC stuff like that there. But again, I'm not really that tech savvy. So like I said earlier, I use like the basic stuff that I know like works and then go from there. So, but yeah, that may or may not happen in the future there. But yeah, with that, guys, hope you all enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it there. Hopefully you guys learned something new from it. And with that, this has been Mr. Movies 87 signing off. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.